So let's begin. Today I am making a perfume which is a cross of orange blossom and blackcurrant. The blackcurrant accord is basically what you get when you mix hedione, iso-e super and stemone. Now if you look online it'll say to use equal amounts, but really that creates a very strong blackcurrant note, and for me personally it's a little bit too strong. If you're familiar with blackcurrant, it really can smell a lot like cat's urine, so I have really used a minimal amount of stemone. I definitely haven't used equal amounts of iso-e super, hedione and stemone. So it's a lot softer than it could be, but I still think it could be softer again, but that's just personal tastes. And the orange blossom aspect is just really coming from oranger crystals, and I have orantiol, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, methyl and phenolate, which is a shift space, and that's basically where the orange blossom aspect is coming from. So let's begin. We are going to start with 20 drops of Cephalus. Cephalus is a similar material to iso-e super. So yeah, just to point out, I'm using Cephalus in place of iso-e super, so you can still use Cephalus, stemone and hedione, and it will create the same accord. Cephalus and iso-e super are extremely similar. So we will start by adding 20 drops of Cephalus. So that's the Cephalus. And next we are going to add 4 drops of labdanum, and this is a 45% dilution. Labdanum. Give the pipette a rinse. After labdanum, we are going to add 4 drops of Peru balsam. Next, we are going to add the oranger crystals. Orange crystals, I'm not sure exactly what the name is, but that's a 10% dilution, and we're going to add 4 drops. Orange crystals. Next, we're going to add 2 drops of Lyrol. After Lyryl, we are going to add 2 drops of hydroxycitronelol, which is a similar material. Now we are going to add 7 drops of castoreum, and the castoreum I'm using is a castoreum absolute, and it's in a 20% dilution. Now we're going to add 4 drops of copaiba balsam. Copaiba balsam. I nearly couldn't say it. Yes, I don't think we're going to get the top off either. There we go. Next, we're going to add 3 drops of valerian oil, which, if you didn't already know, smells a lot like sweaty feet, which, to be honest, is a smell I really like. Now we're going to add 4 drops of ethyl maltol, and this is a 10% dilution. And the last oil in the base is patchouli, and we're also going to add 4 drops. Moving on to the heart, we're going to start with 20 drops of hedione. Next, we're going to add 2 drops of lily owl. We'll now add 2 drops of violet leaf, and this is a 10% dilution. And violet leaf is a very beautiful green color. Next we will add 7 drops of alpha damascone, and this is a 10% dilution. After alpha damascone, we will add 7 drops of ylang ylang, and this is a 25% dilution. Next we will add 2 drops of lavandin grosso. Now we will add 2 drops of Dalmatian sage. Sage Dalmatian. And now we will add 1 drop of stemone. Now stemone is incredibly green and incredibly strong, it really is. And if you use something like 20 drops of Cephalus and 20 drops of hedione, and then if you put 20 drops of stemone in, that's going to be an incredibly strong smell, and it's going to be impossible to tone it down. So when you read online and it says to use equal proportions, I really don't recommend that. Not if you're using a lot of Cephalus, a lot of iso E super, and you're using a lot of hedione. Certainly if you're just using a very small amount. But yeah, this is definitely too much. So I'm just using 1 drop, and for me that's bearable. But I don't really like if you put a lot of stemone in there. I guess it depends on what else you've got in your perfume, but in this formula, you definitely, in my opinion, want you know, a little amount of stemone. In this case, I'm using 1 drop, but yeah, you could even try a 10% dilution and just add 1 drop, and it would probably be a lot softer and a lot more to my taste. So you could try that at home, and if you do, let me know how it goes. But yeah, 1 drop, and this is full dilution. So yeah, this isn't just green, it's very, very earthy. But also there's blackcurrant in there as well, so... which is, I mean, you know, tinker around with this. I haven't really played around with this accord a lot. This is probably about the 3rd time that I've incorporated stemone into the perfume, where it's combined with hedione and iso E super, in this case Cephalus, and made that blackcurrant accord. And I've tried softening it up in the past, wasn't very successful, and I've tried again with this perfume, and definitely I got better results. And you know, you can take this perfume in your own direction. You have basically the basic elements. You have the the orange blossom and the blackcurrant combination, and I think it's to a really good place. But you could definitely add some musk to this. You could soften it up a lot more, do something really surprising with it. I really haven't spent any more time on it, and I don't intend to. I just basically wanted to give you an approximation of, you know, the basic kind of accord, and you know, make it perfume-like, and you know, just to inspire you, basically. So yeah, let's move on. So welcome back. Yeah, I was nattering away, looked at my camera, realized for about the last 5 minutes my camera had stopped recording because my memory card was full. So off camera, I added Orontiol, Whole Leaf, and Heliotropics N. Now, just to explain, Orontiol, this is something that I bought from Perfumers World, but obviously you can get it from other places. And it says that it is methyl anthranilate, and it is a shift space, which is basically what it's got written on the label. And this is your orange blossom smell. And yeah, I added 2 drops of Orontiol. I added 4 drops of Whole Leaf. Whole Leaf is like rosewood, has the same smell really, but Whole Leaf is a heart note and rosewood is a top note. And I added 7 drops of Heliotropics N, and that concluded the heart notes. So now we're on to the top notes, and we're basically starting with bergamot mint, which is a combination of bergamot and mint, but it has a kind of lavender vibe, in my opinion. So if you want something like a cross between bergamot and lavender, if you really smell, you get the spiciness of the bergamot, and the mint just you know, blending it with the bergamot, the combination, it creates a very, it's like lavender. It's like a bergamot lavender to me. And we're going to add 2 drops of bergamot mint. If you smell it, you'll know exactly what I mean. Just straight away you get a lavender vibe, but you also get the spiciness of the bergamot coming through. It's an interesting oil, works a lot different. It works differently to a normal bergamot. So we've added that. Now we're going to add 3 drops of undercavitol, which is a violet molecule. And now we're going to add 5 drops of coriander seed, which is one of my favorite oils. And that concludes the perfume. So we have a orange blossom slash blackcurrant sort of perfume. Like I said earlier, take it in your own direction, make it your own, make it softer, make it more interesting, you know, change it up. It's the basic approximation of a perfume that has the aspects of orange blossom and blackcurrant, but make it your own. This is purely to inspire you, to show you what you can do. I mean, it's a very simple accord. It's very common molecules: iso, e, super, in my case, capillus, hedione. Add a tiny bit of stemone. Stemone's a really cheap material, and it's a common one you can buy from everywhere. And you can make that blackcurrant accord when it comes to this orange blossom. If you don't have any real melissa, there are many molecules. Like I have orange crystals, I have this Orontiol, I also have some other ones which are kicking about somewhere. which I can't think of their names, but there are many choices when it comes to that particular note in terms of aroma chemicals. So yeah, be inspired, play around with it, make it your own. If you make it, let me know what you think of it. And yeah, that concludes another video, and I'll see you again shortly.